said Monday that he was outraged over police use of a taser against his son. The man said the son suffers from autism and officers knew it. Another one of the vaccine damaged. Well, see, the problem is that the vaccine didn't kill him. I mean, that's the problem. So he's got to be tasered. The incident was captured on a police dash cam video. The video was presented in a Cherokee County courtroom. His son, J.D. Moran, said multiple officers surrounded him, cuffed him to the ground, and then tasered him. Well, yeah, like, the person's not resisting. He's leaving. They wanted to show him he shouldn't have said something to John Kerry. And so he's got his hands there up, like, why are you doing this? Why did you tackle me? Why are you grabbing me? And he just says, don't taser me, bro. And they're like, we're going to. This is our power. The globalists put cancer viruses in our shots and fluoride in our water. They like killing us, and we like killing you. Now have some voltage. And because tasers aren't killing enough people, they've upped the power. And they say they're going to up it again. They're just going to be upping it and upping it till, like, yeah, you die sometimes if we do it, but you want to take that risk? Do what we say. Do what we say. And as society degenerates, it's not just the police that are degenerating, it's everything. It's going to get crazier and crazier. And it's on the tape that they tackled him, jumped on him. You know, he had the handcuffs already on. And then they charged him with resisting because they wanted to taser him to show him a little lesson. And then it's like, oh, and you assaulted us. We're going to put some felonies on you. But the video doesn't show that. So they're like, oh, gee, I wish that taser was maybe 5 times more powerful. Then there wouldn't need to be a trial, would there? But hey, there's people above you that like to kill too. Don't worry. And they are. It goes on. Parents of autistic boy who was tasered question police actions. Here's another one. 12-year-old autistic boy was shot last month with a police stun gun at the Hawthorne Middle School. Accused police officials, not servants, officials, kings, on Monday of removing their son from school in handcuffs days after the incident and subjecting him to interrogation in retaliation for a misconduct complaint the family had filed, on top of now the tasering. All right, let's go to your phone calls. I got a bunch of news I will get to. Let's go ahead and go to Smedley. I love that name. In Montana. Go ahead.
Howdy there, Alex. Greetings from a beautiful big sky day here in Montana. Sorry, I don't know my FEMA region right now. I'd like to think of it as the state of Montana for now, anyway.
Yeah, what FEMA region? But we should point out under the globalist and the NAU, they do say we're already in the global region system, and this is not the United States officially. So what? Oh,
exactly.
What region? Guys, pull up 10 FEMA region map, and I can tell him what region he is in. Sorry, go ahead, caller.
I'm going to do that later. I was going to do that later. But I wanted to tell you about a couple things, Alex. First of all, I really enjoyed the video, the recent one with Sean Stone. I just think that's really an excellent collaborative effort between you guys. And the funny one that was a while back, just your staff, Aaron Dykes, Darren McBreen, Rob Dupe, just really think you have a dream team staff going right there in the fight against tyranny, Alex, and just want to give those guys a little credit, too. But I had one thing I wanted to tell you about was some Ron Paul supporters from up here in Montana. I saw a poster of this Wesley Clark speech that he was coming, and they had talking points on there, and they made it look like he was going to, we're going to tell the real truth about 9/11, and I don't think we were told the real truth on that, and other things on there, other talking points, I can't remember them all now. Oh, about, we were going to attack these countries in this certain order. So I thought, this could be real interesting. So a lot of us went, and they said that there was going to be a question and answer period with him, and so there really wasn't. It was 3 students, chosen students. They got up there, and let me tell you about this speech, okay? So he gets up there, and he gives the speech, and afterwards the students give him, just lob softballs to him. I mean, there was no questions about the NDAA or wars without congressional approval. You know, these were just little softball questions anyway, but this is what the speech was like, Alex. It was absolutely, you could tell he was 100% just New World Order all the way, because he starts out, he's telling us, it was like he had just seen your speech on democide, because he gave us about 15 points on how great the government is. Everything, they built our railroads for us, they built our highways.
No, government literally is God to these people, and that's why they want to ruin our reproductive system. So you've got to go to the Government Health Bureau to have them basically turn your DNA back on to rehabilitate your fertility. And they've said that that was their plan in all their policy reports. It's all a scientific dictatorship using Kim Kardashian and all these diversions to distract people from the real world. Great points. Good to hear from you. By the way, you're in FEMA Region 8. We'll put that back up on screen for Prisonplanet.tv members. There is the 10 FEMA regions, and the globalists break every other country into 10 sub-districts as well. And the world is broken into, quote, 10 kingdoms, according to the Club of Rome and UN. Of course, we also read that in the Bible. They model it after that. The 10 horns. In fact, let's put the map back up for radio listeners, and I'll tell folks what... if you're up in the extreme northeast, Maine, down to Massachusetts, and a little bit below, you are in 1. New York has its own region along with Rhode Island. You are in number 2. Pennsylvania down into Virginia and West Virginia is FEMA region number 3. If you are in the deep south, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, you are in FEMA Region 4. If you're in Kansas or if you're in Missouri or surrounding areas, you are in FEMA Region 7. If you are in Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, you are in FEMA Region 6. And if you are up there in the mountain and northern states, in that area, FEMA Region 8. California, Nevada, and Arizona are FEMA Region 9. And, of course, then you have Idaho, and you have Washington and Oregon and Alaska in FEMA Region 10. And Hawaii is also part of FEMA Region 10 under the Emergency War Powers Act restructuring of 1933 and other declarations of the private banks over the United States, who now publicly have dominated and bankrupted Europe and are busy bringing in austerity to bankrupt and impoverish the public, so they're too busy trying to find food than to fight back, so the social engineers can roll in with welfare payments if they'll take the vaccines to soft-kill their families. Okay, continuing here as we report on the global offensives against humanity. Reporting from FEMA Region 6. Yeah, I used to run liners like 10 years ago about deep behind enemy lines, FEMA Region 6, and I'd get program directors of affiliates going, what is this, behind enemy lines? Or are you saying America's the enemy? Region 6? What is this stuff? And we'd play a clip from Red Dawn. Guys, YouTube Red Dawn radio transmission, something like that. And it's like, hi, this is, transmitting from, the free area into the Soviet-occupied area. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. Puts out some codes for special forces behind enemy lines and then says, and remember, if you're on or behind enemy lines, this song is for you. And then they go into the music. We need to get that liner back. That used to be in the computer up there, John. And just for some reason, it just disappeared out of the system. But I want to get that clip from Red Dawn. And you play that going out of the break with music. It sounds pretty powerful. Because that's what we're actually doing. I mean, that's what this is. But see, it's a psychological warfare takeover. So all the regular institutions and things are still there, but it's a creeping takeover, you see, which is much harder to beat than a bunch of Soviets parachuting out of the sky. So, I mean, it's not a joke I come to you from behind enemy lines. I'm an occupied former republic. We are... The banks admit, the big mega banks, they have conquered the United States. This is real. But wait, the basketball's on, Dancing with the Stars is on, And we've got CNN, we've got the American flag everywhere. People put the American flag everywhere, and they think that means worshiping the system, crying and worshiping government and waving American flags. And it now symbolizes gullibility and that you want to be used. And if you say to one of them, hey, the troops are dying of DU poisoning, most of them don't want to be in the wars, they go, shut up, traitor. But we need to end the war. And I've seen these videos. I saw one they just released a few days ago. Adam Kokesh did, where they're talking to this woman, a Mitt Romney supporter, and they're like, but the wars are illegal, and they're about resources, and they're wrong. And she's like, you just hate our military. We need to support them and support the wars. And they're like, but supporting wars doesn't support the military. The majority of the troops in major polls want to be out of these wars. And the majority of the money given to, to presidential candidates is to Ron Paul. She's like, that's not true. And they're like, yeah, it's the SEC filings. No, it's not. You just hate the military. Well, actually, I was, in Fallujah, the cameraman says, and was in Iraq for years as a Marine. Oh, yeah, right. And I have to know who the guy is. He was. And then, oh, yeah, the troops want the war. The troops want the war. I'm for the troops. And she's got like American flags festooned on her, and she's waving a big, they have no conception of reality, these people. They have no conception. They think the government and the police is America, and we're like the enemy. Government is God. Government is good, like in North Korea. Anything it does is infallible, and the cops now more and more believe this. I'm real sad that all over the country, we go places, and we try to go on a city council. We try to just film on the street, and cops will walk over and go, turn it off. Get out of here. And I've actually had my reporters arrested. We're having to sue Pittsburgh. And I saw that footage in Pittsburgh of the police the day the thing had ended. They wanted to have something, so they went into the university area with people out doing studies and eating sandwiches, out in the park. And they announced, get out of here, no one allowed out, period, no congregating. We have suspended regular liberties in the city. And it's like something out of a science fiction movie over loudspeakers. And so, the kids start getting up, and then they've been blocked in. They're not allowed to leave. This is a beta test. They want to see if they can have cops attack innocent people dressed up in their anonymity, cloaking psycho outfits, their torture outfits. And I've got video of just people trying to get out, and women on bicycles and cops beating them. You could kill somebody just like full power with those nightsticks, just like, the type of blow you'd use to kill somebody. And people running into the dorms, and the cops went into the dorms like sharks in a feeding frenzy and were arresting the young people. And dudes up on a hilltop, and they're kettling everybody in, blocking them where they can't leave. Burma's cuts down an alleyway where we wouldn't even have the footage. And they come to do up on a hilltop, and there's a local, NBC news team. And they said, who are you with? NBC. Do you have the G20 credential? Just to be in the city. The G20, the global banker heads, they give you a credential. See, the police were under the foreign banker command. And they go, oh, okay, you can go. Well, do you have G20 credentials? And Rob's like, and we got the tape later back. His camera's still rolling. He goes, well, no, it's the First Amendment, but I'm not inside the G20. All right, on your knees. And they put bags over people's heads in the backs of flatback trucks. He goes to a military base, and there's troops with the police stomping around, making fun of people, watching them urinate, making fun of